Howdy, Blackman. It has come to a close. Blackman is not going to Chattanooga. We are not going to Chattanooga because they lost to Oakland in the semifinals game. My name is Peyton Huff, host of your BSPN football show, and welcome to the last episode of the year. That was a rather somber opening, but we are still glad and are very proud of the boys for what they have accomplished this year. They set records and showed that Blackman can reach new heights with football, and we're ever so proud of them. Let's recap this game really quickly and talk about it. Oakland had the momentum from the start. They held Blackman's offense to a 3-and-out before scoring twice in quick succession. Blackman then missed a field goal attempt and didn't go for it on a 4th and 2 that arguably they maybe should have gone for on Oakland's side of the field, which this then caused Oakland to score 2 more touchdowns because of that momentum. Finally, part of the way through the third quarter, Blackman finally answered back after a big Javion scramble that then was punched in by Jabari and a forced fumble by Jaden Lark. And then that touchdown was punched in by Daniel Smith. Oakland still led at this point, 28-14 going into the fourth. And Blackman was looking for a stop. They were getting ready. It was 3rd and, I believe, 2. But Oakland converted the 3rd. And then they converted another 3rd. And they drove down the field, stringing together a long drive that included many 3rd down conversions, like I just mentioned, which then put them up 35-14, draining a lot of the clock left in the game. And then Javion proceeded to throw a pick 6. And that was the final blow to this Blackman season. Sadly, we lost the semifinals game, but that closed out a 12-2 season, which is still a Blackman High School record, and enjoyable to see the boys have this record for them because they worked so hard for it. Let's still talk about MVPs for this game because I still think we deserve to hand those out. Offensively, I'm going to give it to Jabari and Brylan O'Dour. Jabari is a workhorse. He has been consistent on this offensive side that has sometimes been difficult finding a momentum, and Jabari being there has really helped this offense stay on track a lot of times. And then Brylan had a really good game. I'll mention the stats in a second about his game, but he had a good game. As well, on the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to give it to Jaden Lark. Again, the defense, this was a surprising performance. I was actually very surprised. They allowed multiple touchdowns in the first half, which is not normal at all. But Jaden Lark did force that fumble, and he had a couple chase downs, which were really important. So I just really feel like he played well in the defense. Overall, my overall MVP probably is going to go to Jaden Lark for this game. That turnover was really crucial in bringing Blackman part of the way back into the game. Quote of the week is from somebody on the team that says, "We are an average team, yet we accomplished so much, so I'm okay with how the season went," which is very valid. They were a tough team. They had discipline, and that's what matters. Stat to know for this last game, Javion only completed 5 passes, and he attempted 16. And every single one of his passes was completed to Brylan. All 5 of the catches were to Brylan. There were some tough catches, and Brylan, he played pretty well. The other stat to know, 2 of Oakland's players signed to SEC schools this signing day, so talent-wise, they definitely were there. Let's talk about the season MVPs because, we were at the end of the season. Who are these guys that really stepped up to make this season as special as it was? And on offense, I talked about him earlier. Jabari Kemp, man, he, again, was the one thing on this offense that was consistent. I would say every game you knew he was going to do something. There was going to be a touchdown, long run, just stringing together some good carries. Jabari is definitely the offensive MVP for this season. On defense, it's going to go to a couple guys. I think Isaac Levy, TJ, Jaden Gowan, and Tristan Thornton are all very crucial in how this defense played. Something specific I want to point out about this defense is even though those guys were maybe my defensive MVPs, it was really the entire defense. They all just attack the ball carrier. When the ball is handed off, they all run to the ball carrier. And that's what made this team so good, is their pursuit, their willingness to just play discipline and all pursue the ball carrier. It made this defense really good. Those players specifically stuck out when you watched the film, who really stood out. But overall, this entire defense was really good. The overall MVP, though, I'm going to give to Jaden Lark. There's a lot of players I think that do deserve this. I think Jaden Lark, though, he had to learn both offensive and defensive plays. He was on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, he had a game where he had multiple picks. He got a pick 6. Overall, I do think Jaden Lark is the one that gets the overall MVP. Now, looking forward a little bit to next year, 8 offensive starters are leaving this year due to them being seniors and graduating. Hopefully a couple of them will move on to play football at a higher level. There's some guys that definitely deserve to. A couple of players have started that are kind of in the depth, second stringers that will be good next year, but we're not starters this year. So we'll see how that goes. On the defensive side of the ball, we have 9 defensive players who were starters this year leaving. But the defense has a lot of good players in rotation. Jaden Gowan will be back for next year. There's a lot of guys that we're starting to get a lot of rotation at the end of the year. So we'll see. But that is it for me. My future for next year is uncertain for this show, but I will be back here for basketball season doing at least the tailgate, and we will be having a BSPN basketball show. This has been a great season for the Blaze. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a joy. Hope you have a great rest of the year and Christmas season. Praise the Lord for this opportunity. And as always, go Blaze!